I'm a male and I was sexually abused. Trigger warning, there's lots of sexual abuse in this story, but my girlfriend doesn't believe me. She's saying that I cheated on her. I was drugged and sexually abused by a female friend of my girlfriend at a party last month. I did not tell anyone afterwards because I hated myself too much to allow it to happen. I told my girlfriend this morning. To summarize her reaction, she told me that men cannot be sexually abused, that I must have wanted it, and that she could not believe I've cheated on her, especially not with her friend. She kicked me out of her apartment and told me she'd talk to me when she was ready to face me. Though, funnily enough, she's blowing up my phone with text messages right now. I don't know what to do. I feel numb and cold. As much as I hate to admit it, I feel worthless. I try really hard to man up and get over it, but I hate myself and still feel hurt. I feel alone and like no one else will ever believe me if I say anything about it. I don't know what happened to my girlfriend. She used to be so loving and caring through all of my struggles. I can't believe that she changed so fast in such an extreme way. For some reason, I don't want us to be over, even if I know what I should break up with her over this reaction. I just feel lost right now. I guess what I wanted to rant about is just so someone can hear about what's going on, because I know none of my friends will listen or understand. If anyone has guidance for me, I'd love to know. Thank you. Alright guys, Mr. Reddito here, so we jumped right into a very intense scenario. There's multiple updates for this story. We're gonna start with update number 1 right now. Long story short, I broke up with her. We met at our apartment and she asked me to explain what happened the other day. After I did so, she told me that after I left the house, she'd gone to her friend's house, the one who abused me, and asked her to explain what happened. Unsurprisingly, her friend denied it. The story her friend told her was that I got drunk and forced myself onto her. Her friend said that she tried to stop me, but I overpowered her and took advantage of her. My girlfriend told me that she did not know who to trust. While we've been together for 3 years, she's been friends with her for over a decade. She said that it was too much and just more unbelievable that I would sexually abuse her friend than her friend doing it to me. The conversation went back and forth, but ultimately ended with her saying that even if I had not had sex willingly, she could not look at me the same way because I slept with another woman and cheated on her. She told me that I need to work really hard to regain her trust. So I asked her, "Oh yeah? Well, if you're sexually abused, would she expect me to tell her that she needs to work hard to regain my trust?" She said no, because you should not punish a woman for being sexually abused. I asked her why it was okay for her to do the same thing to me. And she said it was because men cannot be abused, so it doesn't apply. I tried to change her view, but there was no point in it. I broke up with her and left the apartment. That night, on the next day, yeah, they were rough. But I'm feeling better as time goes on, and I've made an appointment with a therapist. I've told a couple of my friends, and they've all been very supportive. A friend of mine has offered to let me stay in his place for a little while until I can get my life back together and figure things out. So I don't have to worry about finding a place to stay. I've gone to the police and told them about what happened, but have ultimately decided not to press charges. I'd have no chance of success anyways. I'm still not sure what's going to happen going forward. Outside of the therapy appointment, I haven't really made any plans. I think I just need to take things slow for now. I also need to make sure I don't give in to the temptation and unblock her, which will probably be the hardest challenge out of all this. My friend will be driving me over to get my stuff out of the apartment while my girlfriend's at work today. I don't think we should be the type to have smashed or sold everything, but I'm expecting the worst. Mini update before update 2. Alright, so I moved all the stuff from the apartment while she was at work. I'm pretty sure that's one of the hardest things I've ever done. It made everything a lot more real to me, in a sense. Since then, I've randomly had moments where I get really angry, or moments where I'm depressed. But I'm staying as strong as I can. I'm going to take a break from the internet for a few days, as when I'm online, I get too tempted to check her Facebook, or her Twitter, or her Instagram, to see how she's doing or if she's been affected at all. I still haven't texted or called her at all since then, and she still remains blocked on my phone, which I'm proud of myself for. Again, I want to thank everyone for being supportive. I never expected it. I'll update in a couple days once I've had some time to myself. Update 2. Alright, it's been a little over a week since I broke up with my girlfriend, and I'm happy to say that things have gotten a little better, especially since I saw my therapist earlier this week. I moved all my stuff out of the apartment last week, and that was hard. I'm a little stuck on what I'm going to do from here, apartment-wise, because I make the most money out of the both of us, and thus pay the majority of rent. She was mostly responsible for the utilities and about a quarter of the rent. I know if I break the lease and stop paying, then she would not be able to pay the rent easily, and I don't want to put her through that. At the same time, I'm pretty sure I know what I need to do, but that does not make it any easier. Even if I'm not with her anymore, it does not mean I don't care about her and don't want her to have a place to stay. Any advice on what to do, guys? In the meantime, the friend that I'm living with has been better to me than he should be. He's been keeping watch for me to make sure she doesn't try to show up at his house talking to me. As of yet, she hasn't. But I'm pretty sure that's just because she doesn't know where I'm staying at the moment. I'm pretty much navigating on autopilot right now. I'm trying to keep my thoughts towards my ex as a business-like. For the most part, I've gone completely no contact with her. I'm pretty sure I'll have to see her soon to talk about the apartment, but other than that, I have not spoken with her. I slipped. Yeah, I did it. I checked her Facebook the other day. It was filled with messages about how I cheated on her, I'm a horrible person, and all this crap for not only cheating on her, but also for leaving without a trace and just running away. Well, seeing that made me stay away from her even easier, though it did hurt pretty bad. I wasn't honestly that surprised that she'd been posting things like that. I've gotten a lot of questions from my friends since last week, and I've now shared what's happened with most of them. I feel incredibly lucky as the vast majority of them supported me. Many people were worried about her friend making a false accusation against me, seeing as she told my girlfriend that I did it to her instead. I know that if she makes an allegation against me, in my state, I'd be more or less completely screwed. I'm just hoping that she won't do so and that my police report will be enough to keep her away. If anyone has any advice on what to do about this, I would love to hear. I'm wondering if I should just contact a lawyer just in case. Each day is a little different. Some days, like today, it was hard even getting out of bed because I did not want to have to face the world. But then I picked myself up and told myself this is temporary, it'll hurt, but it won't be forever. Okay, so after the urging of several commenters, my therapist and my friends, I've started doing things to keep my mind off what has been going on. I've been going to the gym daily. I've gone out and purchased some video games that I wanted to play. But my ex prevented me from playing those due to thinking that they were a waste of money. In the next few months, I'm going to start looking for a job out of state. I've always wanted to move out of my home and take a job somewhere else, but she was very opposed to it. I figured now I have nothing to tie me down. I may as well pursue what I've wanted to do, never mind the fact that she showed up at my work twice now. So I think getting as far away from her as possible would be a good thing. When it comes to dating, I think I'm going to stay single for a while. I'm pretty sure I've got some serious trust and commitment issues, so I want to work through those with a therapist before it starts affecting another relationship. Overall, I'm getting better. I know this is going to hurt for some time. I'm accepting it. I'm going to be seeing the therapist once a week, and I'm going to keep on doing these activities that keep my mind off it. I'm certain I'll make it out okay, but it will take some time. I still frequently get depressed or angry at the smallest stuff, but I think that will improve with time. Update number 3, final update. It's been a month since I broke up with my ex, and I'm doing loads better. I've seen my ex once since the last time I updated. Last week, she showed up outside my friend's house and begged to talk to me. I guess I finally felt ready to face her, so I agreed to speak with her. She told me that she's made a huge mistake. She needs me in her life, and she was extremely sorry for not being there for me, etc., etc. I let her talk and cry and beg, and when she was done, I told her that it wasn't me to stay. She shouldn't have told me these things after she accused me of cheating, slandering me on Facebook, and supported a freaking sexual abuser over me. I told her I knew she'd find someone that loved her and that loved she, but I could not be that person for her anymore. She got jerky and told me that I could not just leave her like that. I could not just leave her to live on her own and become homeless, because I know she can't pay for the full rent and the bills with how much she makes. She accused me of being heartless and abandoning her. I told her that if she did not want me to abandon her, she should not have abandoned me when I needed her the most. That was the last time I spoke with her, and honestly, getting that last little bit of talk with her just proved to me that I made the right decision. Thinking back on our relationship, she's always been selfish. She never really cared about how I felt, only about how she felt. In a way, this last meeting just cemented to me I dodged a bullet. It may have taken me 3 years to dodge this said bullet, but at least I learned it now instead of later. As the woman who sexually abused me, she'll never come to justice. I've come to terms with that. I've talked to a lawyer, gotten all the legal advice just in case she tries to make an accusation against me. I've made a good choice by filing that police report, and while they did not find enough evidence to press charges, I at least left a paper trail. At this point, it's been almost a month since she told my girlfriend that I did it to her, and I have not heard anything. I don't think that at this point she'd say anything, but I'm staying cautious just in case. I'm just going to still hope that she has some human decency and does not try to press charges, but at least I know what to do if that happens. So now that everything's settled down, I'm ready to start my new life somewhere else. I think after 3 years of being with the same person, that I could use an adventure. I've gotten a job opportunity out of state, and I'm going for it. It's a huge city, states away, but I'm going to move and start completely fresh. This weekend, I'm flying out there to look at some apartments and get to know the city a little better. I'll miss my friends, but I can always come to visit them. These last few weeks, I've been pretty happy. I feel like a great weight's been lifted off my shoulders. My therapist has helped me a lot in helping me heal from what happened and move on and learn to trust again. I see him once a week and will continue seeing him up until the point that I move. After that, I'll find a new therapist in my new city. All my friends, especially the friends I'm living with, have been awesome and so supportive. I've been going to the gym 5 days a week, putting way too many hours into Skyrim, going out with my friends, meeting new people, blah blah blah. I've basically been keeping myself busy. There's still some days I feel deep depression, or sad, or incredibly angry, but they're getting less and less frequent. At least, I don't feel that way the majority of days anymore. I know it'll probably randomly spark up in my head once in a while, but I think I'll be able to work past it. Overall, things have been going well. I've had a lot of positive pieces fall into place, and I'm ready to put this whole thing behind me and move forward. Strangely enough, this whole ordeal may be exactly what I needed to move my life in the direction that it needed to go. This will likely be the last update. Thank you. Thank you so much for helping me throughout this process. Seriously, I appreciate all the advice I got. I don't think I would have made it through this as well as I did if it wasn't for the comments of you guys. I just have one question for you in this horrible, horrible situation of a story. Do you think the girlfriend, or should I say ex-girlfriend, should ever be forgiven and forgave? After that, I want to know, the person who did the sexual abuse, do you think that they'll ever get justice? Drop it in the comment section down below. Let me know your opinion on this story. I know it's a touchy subject, but let's talk about it. The next story that we're going to look at today is the final story of the video. The title is, Am I the a-hole for walking my sister down the aisle when our mother's husband believed he should be the one to do it? My sister got married on Saturday. She asked me several months ago to walk her down the aisle and to have a dance floor honor of our dad. I said, of course. Our dad died when I was 11 and she was 7. And we both have memories of him, and she wanted to honor that and feel connected to him on the day and saw me as the best person for the job. So I walked with her and her husband and danced to the song our dad used to sing us. Our mother was remarried before our dad was a year gone. Her husband has no children and was unable to have kids of his own. So he made a big attempt to take our dad's spot and be regarded as father, which he wasn't. Despite knowing this and never being asked, he assumed he would be fulfilling FOTB duties at my sister's wedding. And on the day he learned it was me she asked, he was visibly upset. I had no idea he was expecting it, but said nothing, neither did she. At the reception, he confronted me and asked why I would do it when he's right there, and how I was more deserving than him, her father figure. I told him it was my sister's choice, and she wanted me so we could honor our dad. He told me he deserved better than that, and being completely ignored at the wedding and treated like he was not a parent and not part of the family for the last 15 years. I shrugged, which made him even more mad. He and Mom are both furious at me for saying yes when I knew he wanted to do it. So guys, let me know in the comments down below, am I the a-hole? So I think this one's pretty easy for me. I have to say not the a-hole, and the reason I say that, I don't know how they can blame OP. It's not like it's OP's wedding. Go talk to the sister. It's her wedding. Alright guys, that's all the content I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to the channel as it helps out the algorithm so much. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you tomorrow. The latest Mr. Reddito producer, Christine Billings. Thank you so much for the support.